Turn up!
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Real Me and a movie podcast where you didn't really ask for it, but hey, I'm going to give it to you anyways. This is a podcast where I talk about anything, everything, and well, anything about movies. I'm your host Chase Lee, and if you're not a movie lover and you're listening to this for the very first time, maybe I can convince you to be one. And that voice that you heard in the background lets you know that I either have a guest on the podcast or I kidnapped someone you need to call the cops. So, I do have a guest for this podcast, and we're going to be talking about Avengers 2. We both have seen it. We're going to go over some news, some trailers, and then, of course, box office results for the weekend. How much did Avengers 2 Age of Ultron make? Who knows? Joseph doesn't know, but I fucking know. So, with that being said, the guest is Joseph Wythe. Is that how you pronounce it?
That is, yeah. Most people don't get it, yeah. Some people say Wythe, yeah.
Well, those people are dumb. Anyways, this is actually Joseph's first time on the podcast, so Joseph, go ahead and tell the peeps out there what you do and just a little bit about yourself.
Nice, yeah, okay. So I'm, I like movies a lot. I chill with Chase and like some of his guests on Skype a lot. I got Twitter, Letterboxd. I'll put that in near the end. But yeah, so I'm, I like movies, so love talking about them even more. So yeah, that's me.
Do you do movie reviews as well, like I do?
I used to have on Letterboxd.
Okay. Where can people find you on Letterboxd?
You can get jwythe77 on Letterboxd. Again, I'm more inclined to write about something I like than what I don't like.
Yeah, I mean, most people are like that. But I mean,
yeah.
Listen, guys, I only hang out with like a certain group of people online. Joseph is one of those cats, so I mean, like, please go follow him, read his reviews, because he's smart. Like how old are you, Joseph?
I am 14.
So he's 14. I am 11 years older than him, and he's got the wits and like the brain power of someone my age. So
Thanks,
yeah, he's a cool cat. That's why I invited him on, because I was talking with Joseph last night on Skype. With the other favorite of Real Me and Colin Movie Podcast, Jackson. Jackson couldn't make it on this podcast. His voice is very hoarse, but that means I'd just be able to talk more. So I mean,
yeah,
nah,
that guy.
I'm kidding with you, Jackson. We all love you, but we were just talking last night, and Joseph really wanted to talk about Avengers 2, but I hadn't seen it yet. So after I got out of the movie, I was like, I should contact him and see if he wants to be on the podcast. So he is here, and that's what we're going to be doing. Now, this is the first time I've ever done this on this podcast. In the 76 episodes I've done, when we get done with the episode, I'm going to end it, we'll plug our stuff, and I'll sign off. But, like, 10 seconds after that, me and Joseph are actually going to go into spoiler territory for Avengers 2. But don't worry, we're going to give you a heads up before we do. But for the whole show, it's going to be spoiler-free, so don't worry about it. But if you have seen it and you want to talk, or if you want to hear about the spoilers and what we think and stuff, that will happen at the very end. And like I said, we will let you know. So let's start with the news. All right. So there's a lot of 21 Jump Street franchise stuff going around this week, and it has to be addressed. The first story is that, do you guys remember when I said on this podcast that 21 Jump Street and Men in Black were going to have a crossover film? And
totally, I remember that.
Yeah, exactly. And you kind of like, you're just like, that's not going to fucking happen. But then reports are coming out saying this actually is pretty true. First of all, it reeks of desperation. I actually like the 21 Jump Street franchise. I like the first Men in Black. I didn't like the last two. So it's like, it just seems very desperate, in my opinion. I kind of just want Jump Street to be its own thing. And if it wants to branch off into other stuff, which I will get to in just a second on that story. But for this one, the crossover with Men in Black, it just, I don't know, it just reeks of desperation. But I mean, am I going crazy, Joseph?
Well, no, you're not. And I think that, like, what are they trying to do? Like, I'm not
exactly
sure what their goal is by doing this. It could be fun. I'm not ruling that out, but I'm just not sure who is the guy that was like, you know what we need? We need a Men in Black Jump Street crossover. That's exactly what the studio needs.
It just, it doesn't feel right, It's almost like Sony's like, you know what, fuck it. After that email leak, we can't do it anymore. We just got to throw all of our eggs in one basket. No, fuck you, Sony. Don't do that. Yeah, I hate that piece of news. But going off of that, the second piece of news is that just like the Ghostbusters in a female-centric movie, they actually want to concentrate on a female-centered 21 Jump Street spinoff. And the two characters they're going to focus on, I forgot their names in the movie, but one of them was played by Dakota Johnson and stuff. And, you know, if they make it funny and entertaining, I'm all for it. Like, I have nothing against it. Like, a female-centered 21 Jump Street sounds pretty cool if it's done right, I guess. And if it's still, like, self-referential and stuff, and it doesn't take itself too seriously, and it kind of makes fun of sequels and spin-offs, then sure, why not? But as far as, like, I would rather choose this story over the Men in Black crossover any day, so let's put that out there. So, I mean, a female-centric 21 Jump Street, I'm okay with. I mean, you know, like I said, if they do it right, get the right people, but I mean, like, what do you think?
Well, you know, it's kind of my same thing with all the whole, you know, female iterations of popular franchises. It's kind of like, I'd rather just have a new thing of, you know, a female, you know, just a new movie, not just a female 21 Jump Street, or like...
Yeah.
Like, Ghostbusters makes more sense because it's such a specific thing, but like Jump Street, just a cop movie. You can have a cop comedy with chicks and then not make a Jump Street movie, but this could work, and I feel like, did we get the heat a couple years ago?
Yeah, it came out like 2013 or something.
Yeah, but no, this again, I can see it going either way. I'm alright with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's way better than the crossover with Men in Black. Let's get that fucking straight. So that's that piece of news. The third piece of news, they announced that Kingsman 2 is going to come out. Now, I did a whole podcast over the first one. I absolutely thought the first one was a blast. It was so much fun in the theater. I love Matthew Vaughn. You got Kick-Ass. You have X-Men First Class. You have, what was it? Layer Cake with Daniel Craig?
Layer Cake,
yeah. And so, like, he's been in the business for a while, and he kind of makes his own style of movies and stuff, and they're just awesome. They're just so much fun, and I'm okay with the Kingsman 2 only if Vaughn comes back to either produce it or write it or do something with the project.
No Vaughn, no game. No
Exactly.
Vaughn, no game. Yeah.
Exactly. If Vaughn comes back, I'm fine. Even if he's just the fucking cinematographer or the editor, I still would like it. Like, I don't want them to go the route of, you know, the Kick-Ass franchise. I like Kick-Ass 2 a lot. I really do like Kick-Ass 2. But the first Kick-Ass is superior. And so I just don't want them to, like, take something Vaughn does and make a cheapo version of it. It just... And plus, without spoiling anything, there's a character that, you know, dies in the first one, and I kind of want him back in the sequel if they were to do a sequel. So
it's not going to be the same. Yeah, and okay. Sorry for cutting you off.
No, yeah, go ahead. I mean, that's all I had to say is, like, I don't mind a Kingsman 2. I just want Vaughn to be involved in it.
Yeah, totally. And I feel like what I want to happen is I want to go into Kingsman 2, I want the movie to start, and I want to feel like I'm watching Kingsman.
Exactly.
I want it to have the DNA, just to feel like, and I feel like the best way to do that is to have Vaughn involved, like you said. So, yeah, it's a no-brainer to try to get Vaughn involved this time. Hopefully he's willing to do it, and yeah, I thought Kingsman was definitely a blast, and about that character, it's going to be, I'm not going to say anymore, you know, for spoiling, but he definitely shaped a lot of the movie, and it's going to be rough without him. But we'll see. It could be good.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like a wait and see thing, like Joseph said. It's like when we sit down and we watch it and we go, I'm not vibing it or I'm vibing it. I mean, that's how we're going to really determine the sequel. So that's that piece of news. You know what? I'm going to cut two of these stories because some of these are I really don't want to talk about them. So the last piece of news is the biggest one, obviously, and I got it as my phone background. The poster for Batman v Superman came out last week, and there was one of Superman with the Batman logo on his face, and there was one of Batman with the Superman logo on his face. They released the photo of Ben Affleck in the suit without the logo, so we saw his face in black and white and color, and they also released like a full body suit of Batman. Now, listen, I've said this, and I'll say it again. I've always been on board with Ben Affleck. I've never doubted the guy, and you can even go to my YouTube channel and document that because I have a video on that very day he was cast, and I said I like this choice. So I'm not just jumping on the bandwagon now because I've seen the suit. I've always liked Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne and Batman. So the photo is him in the suit. I think it looks awesome. Like it's so different from what we've seen before, and it looks like it's really rusty, and it just looks like he's worn that suit for years, and it just looks so old school, but yet kind of, you know.
It kind of has the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
it has the best of the old school, but it also got some cool darker stuff in it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get. Like it's like a mixture of both, and it just looks so badass. I love like the material on it looks really cool. It's like it looks like a plasticky duct tape or something. Like I don't know. It looks really cool, but I mean, like you saw the picture, right? What'd you think of it?
Again, I'm not the kind of person that goes crazy about costumes with superhero movies, and it's just a fun costume. But I thought this was cool. It's got, as I said, best of both worlds, and but it is good to go a different route, like try to be different than the Dark Knight, like make an effort to be different. Because I feel like if it's similar, I'll be like, I just fucking want Christian Bale back.
Exactly.
If it's any similar.
Yeah.
But it looks like they're doing something different, and this should be good.
Yeah. No, I've been on board with this movie, and I told you guys when I reviewed the trailer, I'm still on board. There's nothing that's going to bring my...
You know what? That one poster, I'm not on board anymore. I'm sorry.
Oh, you don't like the you don't like the poster?
Off board.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I've enjoyed everything they've done so far, and like I said, when we see the movie, and if it's garbage, I hope it's not, because I actually like Man of Steel. Joseph, did you like it?
It's definitely entertaining.
Tell me the truth, because I know Jackson hated it. There was a lot.
I'll probably never watch it again. It's pretty stupid, but looking back at it. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't having fun while I was watching at least certain scenes of it.
Okay, I mean that's honest. I mean, and listen, if you hate something that I like, or vice versa, that's okay.
I'm gonna fucking tell you you're wrong.
Yeah, no, that's okay, man.
No one's gonna do that later in this podcast.
You probably will, but I mean, listen, I liked Man of Steel a lot, and I've said this on record, and I'll say it again. I think it's better than the old versions, and I also think it's the best interpretation of Superman that we've had so far. So, if you want to throw your pitchforks at me, that's all up to you. So, that's that piece of news. My favorite piece of news this week was obviously the Batman pick. I got it as my phone background, so I'm super pumped. So, Joe, so let's talk about some trailers. There was a lot that came out, and I really liked one of them. I kind of liked one of them. One of them looks like stupid fun, and then the other one, I'm excited to watch because I like the first one. So, let's talk about Ted 2. Now, I was talking about the Ted 2 trailer a few weeks ago on this podcast, and I liked it. I liked the first Ted, and so I'm looking forward to the second one, except, after A Million Ways to Die in the West, it kind of took a step back for me a little bit. So I really like Seth MacFarlane and his juvenile humor, and I'm 25 years old, but I mean when it hits, it hits. When it misses, it misses, and so that's what you have to kind of take with it. Like I said, I thought the first Ted 2 trailer was fine. This trailer, on the other hand, I really liked. And I think it was the same effect as the first Ted. I remember when the Red Band trailer came out for the first Ted, and I was like, this is really funny, I can't wait to watch it. And then when you watch the movie, it's really entertaining. So I think with Ted 2, it worked for me in that regard, where I saw the Red Band trailer, which is the one I'm talking about, and they were able to throw a lot more, F-bombs and, sexual jokes in there, and it worked for me. I was like, I'm excited to see this. So, Ted 2 Red Band trailer, looking forward to it. What did you think?
Okay, so I'll start off saying I enjoyed the first Ted. It's I feel like MacFarlane, he's funny, but he needs an editor to sometimes tell him, hey, this is not funny. And there are a lot of jokes that are really lazy in Ted, but all in all, fun movie, enjoyable. And I think this one, it has a little bit of an obstacle to overcome, because in the first one, it was the whole gimmick of like a Ted that's like a complete like really raunchy was almost funny enough, and this one people are over that.
Yeah,
so they really need more originally funny stuff. But this trailer itself I thought was pretty funny. I like this trailer.
Okay, I mean, yeah, it was entertaining. I thought it was way better than any of the Super Bowl spots they've had, better than any of the trailers. So like, this is the trailer where I was like, okay, McFarlane, I'll give you a second shot. So I dig it. So
I actually got a screening pass to it, but it was 18 plus.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, because
I saw it last week. Yeah.
No, that's what's really funny is when I saw the first Ted, I went to an advanced screening. It was like a couple weeks beforehand, and there was a lot of kids there with their parents, and they were just like, "Are you these kids' guardians and stuff?" It was like I felt like we were going to like a really dirty strip club. I was like, Jesus, like, but yeah, it looks fun. I can't wait. It comes out in June. So the next trailer is a Woody Allen movie, and it stars Emma Stone, Joaquin Phoenix, and oh shit, I'm blanking. Do you know who else is in it?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Is that it?
And Emma Stone.
I guess. Are you looking it up real fast?
Yes.
Okay, this is what happens when you do stuff live, folks. I mean, I know the two main characters, but I forgot the supporting cast.
Okay, so we got Parker Posey.
Okay.
We got Jamie Blackie. No, Black Kelly. No, fuck that. Ethan Phillips. Ben Roosevelt. No, Ben Rosenfield. God damn it. Okay. Yeah, no one really notable.
Okay, so the two main characters, played by Emma Stone and Joaquin Phoenix. Now, I didn't see Magic in the Moonlight, which was Woody Allen's last movie, and that had Emma Stone as well. It didn't look good. I mean, I didn't really want to see it. Actually, in the past 5 years, there's two good ones. I really like Blue Jasmine a lot, and I liked Midnight in Paris. Yeah. So for this one, I'm going to look at it as I really fucking love Joaquin Phoenix, and I will watch anything with him in it. So it's not like because it's a Woody Allen movie, it's because it's Joaquin fucking Phoenix. I've always been on this guy's side ever since Gladiator. Like, the guy is like one of the best like chameleon actors. Like, you don't know what the fuck he's gonna play, and like he always delivers his A game. I remember watching Her for the first time in theaters, and I was like, dude, this guy's unreal. And then when you watch The Master from PTA, it's like, oh my god, dude, like this guy is off the fucking rails. And so
the scene where he like can't blink is just like,
oh, it's great.
When someone says they want to be an actor, I email them that scene.
Yeah, no, dear God, yeah. If you want any acting lessons, like, please watch The Master. But yeah, this story looks okay. I'm not gonna lie, it's not anything I'm jumping up and down for, but I will fully give my attention to it because of Joaquin Phoenix. And Emma Stone is always good in her own regard. Funny little story. The first thing I ever remember seeing her in, I was 17, and that's when Superbad came out. And she was in that, and I was like, okay, she's kind of cute. And then,
excuse me, kind of cute? This is very offensive, Jake.
Well, Joseph, notice how I said kind of, but you gotta keep in mind this was in 2007. As I got older, it's like, okay, she's pretty hot. But I mean, like, if you watch like her later stuff, like Birdman or oh shit,
the one with Emma Stone in it. What's it called? I think I know what you're talking about. Crazy Stupid Love?
Yeah. She was really good now because that one wasn't like a full-on comedy. That was like a comedy drama, and I really liked it. She's a really good actress, guys. Like, she's great looking, and she's really good. And you know what? I'll say this now. I didn't like Amazing Spider-Man 2, but at least her relationship with Peter Parker, because she was Gwen Stacy, I enjoyed that part. That was the only part I did enjoy, because she can bring that chemistry on screen. It's just, she's that good. And so, I mean, she looks okay in this, but I mean, like, Joaquin Phoenix is my boy. Like, I'll go watch anything with him in it. So, I mean, what did you watch the Irrational Man trailer?
I did not, but
okay.
Just like you, I'm hit miss with Alan. He is my dad's favorite person ever.
Okay.
But I hated the one in Rome.
Yeah,
With Love.
I didn't watch that one.
Couldn't stand it. And I think his best movies are the best Woody Allen movies are the ones that aren't that Woody Allen like Match Point.
That's true.
Well, with ScarJo, that's a great movie, and it's not really like it's more drama than. But yeah, I have no fucking idea. I haven't seen the trailer.
Okay, I mean, it's a Woody Allen movie. I mean, he comes out with like 5 movies a year, and it's pretty much like, yeah, exactly. I have to give the guy props though, because like I'm a filmmaker. I majored in film. This is what I do, and so I've only made one full-length movie and a bunch of short films. This guy's like damn near dead, and he's making like one every year. So Woody Allen, I fucking respect the hell out of you. Even though some of your movies are a miss, I still respect you for making a movie every year. So that's it for that trailer. The next trailer is The Last Witch Hunter. Ooh, sounds fucking dumb. This one stars Vin Diesel, Michael Caine, which I have no idea why he's in this. And from the vibe I got from the trailer, like Vin Diesel's kicking ass. Like, I mean, it kind of looks like a more darker, gothic version of Riddick. Guys, here's the dildo. I like Vin Diesel. I think he's very charismatic, and I think he can sell an audience. He's got like one of the largest fan bases in the world. He's good, in his own right. And what I mean by that is like he's an action star. He's allowed to do those corny lines and kind of do those high octane action scenes. He's just that type of actor, and so I like him in the Fast and Furious franchise. I even liked I liked Riddick. I mean, it wasn't anything spectacular, but it was enjoyable. So this one, it's like I'm glad he's trying new stuff. But it just, I don't know, it just looks kind of dumb, and I really want him to kind of branch off from the Fast and Furious. Like, I'm glad that he was Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy, and he is
a lot of work there.
I know, 3 whole words, but you still have to give it up to him, because like he still had to convey emotion through 3 words, which is pretty fucking hard to do.
Yeah, he did a good job though. They were really good 3 words.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you have to judge on, then he did a damn good job. But I mean, I'm glad he's trying more stuff, but then again, this one just looks dumb. I mean, that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say about it. Like, did you watch it?
No, but like about Vin Diesel, a lot of times, like he says something, it's cool, but then you think like if anyone else said it, would be like, oh, that's so fucking stupid. But like
exactly.
When Vin Diesel says it, it's like, oh, my man, like.
Okay, I'm gonna call out Joseph just for a second. Now, I have a very low voice. Joseph's got a pretty high voice right now, so yep. I want you to try to do your best Vin Diesel impression, and we're gonna. I know. This is gonna be really funny, and then I'm gonna try myself, and then I'm probably gonna fuck up just as bad. So you go ahead and go first.
A picnic with my family.
What was he? What was he talking to a napkin? No, okay. I'm gonna try my best. I can't do a Vin. Love fruits, the family. Like it's so fucking hard to do. Like his balls are like dragging on the floor. Like I honestly don't know how he's got that low of a voice, but yeah, whatever. I mean, there's.
You know what? I'm sorry to cut you up. But. How funny would it be if, like, in real life, he's, like, totally lighthearted. He's like, hey, what's up, guys? How, like, the opposite of what he's playing in Fast and Furious?
That would be hilarious. Which means you're telling me, like, in interviews and stuff, he personifies the low voice Vin Diesel. That's hilarious. Yeah, no, I can only do certain celebrities. Like, I can do my Mark Wahlberg. I can...
I'm jealous.
Have you heard it?
Well, I not.
You haven't heard it?
I have not heard of Mark Wahlberg.
Oh shit. Okay. Let me try to sell you on Ted 2 as Mark Wahlberg. Hey Joseph, how you doing over there? Hey, so I'm in Ted 2, and it's kind of like I'm an actor, and so I think Seth MacFarlane came up to me one day and he's like, hey, in the sequel, do you want to have sex with Ted? And I was like, oh man, that seems kind of dumb. But then I kind of got around to it, and then I had sex with Ted. That's what the sequel's about. Do you want to go see it? I'm Mark Wahlberg. I'm an actor, and I'm also in Entourage. I did that movie too. I'm in everywhere this summer.
That was great.
I try my best. No, Mark Wahlberg is like my only impression I can do very okay.
Hey, you're doing good though, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. All the rest are dumb. But yeah, The Last Witch Hunter, it just okay. But here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the best trailer that came out this week, and it's got double dose of Tom Hardy. What am I talking about? Legend. This trailer looks so fucking cool. And it all it is just a gangster movie. But the way it's shot, the way it's lit, it feels like a gangster movie, but like I said, double Tom Hardy. He plays twins, and when you watch the trailer, you can differentiate between one and the other. It's like, oh shit, this one's going to have one personality and this one's going to have another. It's not like he looks the same for both and it's going to be like, oh, it's going to be really hard to tell. No, one's got glasses and slick back hair. The other one's got like a cigar in his mouth half the time. So it just looks awesome. And listen, I like Tom Hardy. I don't care what he does. He's one of those actors I will literally go watch anything for. If you guys have not seen Locke, which came out last year, you need to do that because that is a fantastic film, and that is literally Tom Hardy for 90 minutes. Now, for this movie, we get double Tom Hardy. That is so fucking awesome. So, it looks like a cool gangster movie. He's playing two parts. I'm all on board. That's all I gotta say. So, Joseph, what'd you think about it?
Okay. First of all, I'm glad you went on Block, because that movie's the fucking bomb.
Yeah.
Second of all, the whole, I think it's cool he's playing the twins, but I hope it's not noticeable that, like, you know, from him, from an acting standpoint, he's talking in the thin air when he's, like, talking to his twin brother.
Yeah.
So I really hope that isn't noticeable. Like, in 10, it wasn't. And then they got a similar thing going on there, because, you know, 10 is real. But, like, this is a drama, so I hope we can't notice that, you know? And I agree with you on the looks of the two twins. It doesn't seem like the actor is just, the twins are just an excuse to have the same actor. They look like they're their own people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the movie looks cool. It's like...
Well, I mean, like, you remember how in The Social Network when Armie Hammer played the twins, like, they pulled that off. I think if...
They pulled that off well.
Yeah, exactly. I think if you can, you know, edit it and make it seamless and stuff, it won't really take me out of the movie that much. So as long as it because you're right, you don't want them to be looking like they're talking in thin air. So I think what they're going to do is, like, you know, they're going to edit it in such a way, and I'm sure they shot it in a certain way to where it's going to look like he's talking to himself, which is fantastic. So yeah, this is definitely the best trailer of the week, hands down. So that's it for the trailers this week, guys. If you guys have any comments on the news or the trailers, comment in the place to upload my voice and let me know. Now, Joseph, are you fucking ready to dive in to Avengers Age of Ultron?
I am fucking ready.
This is gonna be fun. I literally just got back from it, and Joseph, when did you see it? Like a few days ago?
I saw it Friday night.
Okay, so he saw it a couple days ago. I literally saw it like 2 hours ago. I'm gonna say
You're
this.
gonna be fanboying out for the next, like, I'll go 5 days.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't been through that cycle yet.
So I mean, I'm already sweating and like popping a bunch of nerdgasms. So I will say this: I think it's better than the first one, and that's what I'm going to lead off my review with, because Joseph's review was more of like he likes the second one, but he likes the first one better. Correct?
Whoa, fuck no.
What?
No.
Wait, I thought that's what your
No, my review was saying how much I didn't like the first one and why the second one's awesome.
Oh shit! Okay, never mind. I'm thinking of a different person. But
Yeah.
there's so many Avengers reviews, guys. It's hard to keep track. But
That was the big thing I said that I was going to disagree with you on earlier. Yeah, I don't like the first Avengers.
okay, yeah, no, I'm actually on board with you. Now listen, I like the first Avengers. I think it's a lot of fun, and I rewatched it, and you know the magic is there between all the actors and stuff, and I like the second one a lot more. I like the character development. I like the villain more. I like I just like their camaraderie, and I'm glad that, you know, they're planting the seeds for further movies, because this shit is dark. Like, this is a dark fucking movie. This is what I wanted to have happen for the longest time in this universe. And so I think them taking it in this direction is fantastic. It was a lot darker, and it was a lot more funnier than the first one, which is funny. Yeah, exactly. So it's really weird. It's like it was funny, but it was also super dark. It's really hard to kind of judge the acting on the core characters. They're all their characters at this point. Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Robert Downey Jr., Mark Ruffalo, Scarlett Johansson, Jeremy Renner. They are those characters.
Yeah, you're not looking at Downey Jr. You're looking at Iron Man.
Exactly. Right. Like they have embodied those characters so much to where the more of these that we review, it's hard to be like, yeah, the acting in this one wasn't really that good. No, like ever since their first standalone movies, they've been very sufficient in their roles. But for this one, they have new people, and I think that's what me and Joseph are going to focus on the most is the new people because they're fucking new. So
also, we did not agree on that, by the way.
Wait, do what?
We did not agree on that, but I'll roll.
Not agree with the new people?
No, we did not agree on that.
Oh, whoops.
I'm fucking around with it, but
yeah. We'll do this. I'll give my overall thoughts. Joseph, you can go, and then we can just kind of be like, what did we like, what did we dislike, and no spoilers here, folks. That will be for the very end. So, for me personally, like I said, I like the character development between all of them. I love the fact that they're taking their characters a step further into like this hellhole that they're going to get into with Infinity Wars. It's setting up this epic saga of a storyline, and it's really fascinating to watch. It's like one of the greatest TV shows I've ever seen. That's right, I call this universe a TV show because it really is. Every movie is like an event. It's like a TV episode. There's gonna be some that hit really well. There's gonna be some that are kind of so-so, and there's gonna be some that you don't really remember that much. But I mean, that's okay with me. There's not gonna be one movie that's like, if it's not as good, it's not gonna taint my whole view of the universe. It's still
the last one. What's the last one?
Yeah, exactly. Because the only ones that have ever been like subpar for me personally, I'm not a huge fan of Iron Man 2. I'm not a huge fan of Iron Man 3, but I rewatched it and I can understand some of the decisions. And then, Thor: The Dark World, it's not as good as the first one, but it is entertaining. And then all the rest I think are pretty good. So it's not like I'm totally blindsided. I'm just like, oh, everything's perfect. No, there's actually a couple things I didn't really care for in this one, but we'll get to that in just a second. But overall thoughts, I really liked it. I really liked the character development. I love the action set pieces. I love James Spader as Ultron. He kicked so much ass. He was really funny, and he was really diabolical at the same time. Most of the new characters did pretty well. I like Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch. I thought she did a pretty good job. Aaron Taylor Johnson's fine as Quicksilver. It's just I didn't really care for his accent that much. I liked Vision a lot. And I'm really glad Paul Bettany's finally stepping behind his voice, and we finally get to see him after all these years. And then, is that it for the new? Yeah, and then of course James Spader's Ultron. So I like the new characters for the most part. The way it's shot and all the action set pieces and stuff, they have a lot of the same tropes from the first film, where we see a lot of group shots when they fight and stuff, a lot of long tracking shots, which are really exciting to see, especially in IMAX 3D. It's a really good looking film. You can tell that it's a lot darker, not just in terms of tone, but in terms of the color. It's a lot more diluted, and that kind of shows me that, like, oh shit, these guys are about to head down a very, very dark path. So I really liked it. I think it's better than the first one. I like the story more, and I know me and Joseph are probably going to argue on the quickness of the evolution of Ultron.
No, I think I'm going to agree with you on this.
Really? Okay.
I think 1 second he's like barely has his body, and the next time you see him, he's all full fucking Ultron, and he's like, he's shiny and shit. You know what I mean? Like Breaking Bad reference, but
I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Yeah.
I liked it. I like his
okay, yeah, dude is great.
Yeah, no, his evolution to becoming evil, I thought was fine. Like I thought it was right. And
I didn't like it. Didn't take me out. After when I looking back at it, I'm like, yeah, that is pretty stupid. But like while I was watching it, it didn't really hurt. But still, looking back at it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's one of those things where everyone was complaining about that, and it's like Ultron became evil so fast. But I look at it this way: he has artificial intelligence. He's going to evolve way faster than what we evolved to. So, and his whole perception was he wanted to be the higher power. He didn't want to be the slave done by Tony Stark. He wanted to show his dominance. And I think just that alone justifies why he turns evil really fast. But I mean...
No, I think on the mental standpoint, it's fine. Like, I agree with you. Just physically, it's kind of weird. But no, I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah, so I mean... and then... okay, and then a lot of people are going to ask, does it really, plant seeds for Civil War and the end credit scene? I'm going to say yes. There's a lot of stuff that will... and actually, I was actually surprised that they hinted a lot more towards Ragnarok, and they hinted a lot towards Infinity Wars. And I was like, that's awesome. So, that's just my overall thoughts. I think it's way better than the first one. So, Joseph, what are your overall thoughts of Avengers 2?
Okay. I'm going to try not to sound the same as you. I really like this one. Okay, first thing, possibly what I like the most is it's hysterical. Like, maybe not the most, but it is fucking hysterical. And the first one, like, I was so annoyed at the comedy in the first one. Like, I couldn't stand it. And Jackson did a great thing on why he didn't like the humor, and I totally agree with him on that. But this one, it's not annoying, and it's not cheesy, and you feel like you're with the characters. They play off each other well. And I can't believe I'm saying it doesn't feel like a Joss Whedon movie, and that is the best thing I could say about it. The fact that it doesn't feel like Joss Whedon. It feels like you're knowing the characters, you're there, it's hysterical, and the action scenes. Not only are they well shot, but they're not thrown in your face. They're not too long, and there isn't too many of them. There's perfect amount of action scenes. They don't fool you with them to the point where like just get it over with, So they're always interesting. And relationships are like well developed, and the setup for the most part works. A few minor quibbles, which we will get into after, but yeah.
So overall, you liked it a lot.
Really liked it, yeah.
Awesome. So let's get into some of the dislikes.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that bugs the shit out of me is the fact that Tony Stark is in his suit again. Now, it's been 2 years since we've seen Iron Man 3. But at the end of Iron Man 3, he gets his chest fixed and he kind of moves on from it. Like I don't understand like why they couldn't why couldn't they have it in 2 sentences where he's talking to Banner or something. He's like, "Yeah, I couldn't take it anymore and I had to get back in the suit." If you would have said that would have been a lot better than not acknowledging it. And so the very first scene of Avengers 2, all the Avengers are fighting, and he's back in his Iron Man suit, and it's like, okay, are we just going to completely ignore that, or like, what's the deal?
Yeah, well, you know what? Now I'm mad because you reminded me that Iron Man 3 was a thing.
Yeah, exactly. So
you just reminded you have to remind me of that, Chase.
Yeah, I apologize, but I mean, Iron Man 3 is fine for the most part, and there's a lot of
it isn't.
There's a well, I mean, okay, that's fine. That's understandable because I really hated it at first, but upon second viewing, I was like, you know what? There's a couple of Easter eggs in here I'm okay with, but yeah, for the most part, it's definitely one of the weaker ones. But they just don't explain that, and I just didn't really care for it. Another thing, like I said, is I'm okay with the twins, with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, but at the same time, if they were not in there, it's not like I would have missed them, So they were fine for what they are, and I'm kind of excited to see where the future goes with them, and we'll get into spoiler territory after all this. But that's probably the only couple things I kind of disliked. And the more I think about it, I kind of wish Joss Whedon had his 3-hour-long cut because I really wanted to see what the hell they took out. Yeah, so like. The story did kind of feel jumbled just a hair, but at the same time, I was still entertained and I could still follow everything, and everything felt pretty good in terms of the pace and the rhythm to me. I just would have rather seen the full cut, and I'm really happy that on Blu-ray they're going to release that extended cut, and I cannot wait to watch it because I'll watch fucking 6 hours of this shit. I really don't care. But that's only the kind of the bad things I found about it. What were your dislikes?
Okay, so I'm going to comment on your dislikes, and then I'm going to go into mine. Okay, well, the thing was, I really liked Scarlet Witch. I wasn't huge on Quicksilver, but he was alright. I feel like it would be hard to do Scarlet Witch without at least having some sort of Quicksilver in there.
Yeah.
And I think that it's set up for maybe, not only in Civil War, but I think it's set up for after Infinity War. is what, and I think Scarlet Witch is a part of that. And because what are they gonna do? There's a big conversation about that, but we'll get more into that in the spoiler areas. But I know Vision. Okay, so I want to get into why I wasn't huge on Vision at times.
What? Oh, come on, dude.
Okay.
He was like he was by far my favorite part, just because.
Chase, why you do this?
Because it's my fucking show, Joseph. But go ahead.
Okay.
Tell me why you didn't really care for him that much.
There are scenes I like. I really like. There's a good gag with Thor that's really funny.
Okay.
I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But it's good, and then there's a confrontation scene where he gives a speech that's been given in pretty much every other AI movie ever that isn't her. And it's just, I feel like the whole movie Sweden was doing a good time of not getting too deep into the whole artificial intelligence debate, and that was Tony Stark's logic. And then he does, and it just doesn't feel right. And I just thought he wasn't all that interesting. He was kind of like, I hate calling him movie pretentious. I don't think he was, but I think that character was. I felt like he acted like he was smarter and more like morally based than he was.
I think I understand your points, because my roommate actually had a problem with that last little ending speech as well. But I mean, when you look at it, there is a certain quality about Vision that is important to the universe of this whole Marvel Cinematic thing. And I think towards the end, Vision is going to be such a huge part in the story, and I think when he probably does kick the bucket, I think that's going to really tear Tony up, and I think that's how Tony's going to die. I think he's going to go in there and fight for him, and he's going to eventually kick it, because Vision's got to be the good AI, and he's got to be that, and then Ultron's the bad one. So was the speech a little cliche? Sure, but at the same time, it was the speech that he had to give to Ultron to basically confront everything. And so I think Vision is going to be like that core group member that's going to kind of keep everyone on track, and kind of just like if things are, like, especially in Civil War. Once again, we'll get into spoiler territory, but I'll guarantee you he's going to have trouble picking sides, for sure.
Yeah, I cannot wait for that. But
yeah, so...
Also, I really like the making behind him. Like, the way he gets made.
Yeah, no.
And the whole process, awesome.
Without spoiling anything of how he looks, oh dear God, I don't know. As I was sitting there, I was like, is this mostly CGI or is it mostly practical? And it's like, he looks fucking awesome. Like, regardless... Yeah, like, he has one of the coolest, like, not costume, because that's how he looks, but, like, just one of the coolest looks for a superhero I've seen in quite a while. He just looks really cool with all... He looks, half robotic and half human, and it's just a nice little blend, and I'm glad they didn't, like, fuck it up or anything. So, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No problem, yeah. Okay, so, we're going into my own quells with it. That was the main thing. The credit scene isn't great.
I agree. I liked it, but it's like, okay, we've seen it in the first one. So, I wanted...
And these things are so hyped up.
Yeah.
My God.
Like, I was telling my roommate this. I was like, listen, I am excited to see Ant-Man. Most people don't even know what the fuck it is. They should have had an Ant-Man lead-in to the movie that's coming out in 2 months. I think that would have really benefited for the fucking movie. So, I don't care if it was just Paul Rudd on an elevator, like, walking past someone of the Avengers. I don't care. They should have had something to be like, oh, this movie's coming out in 2 months. We should probably, I don't know, start marketing for it. So
just do maybe a quick gag or something,
Exactly.
Show what's happening. Like, it doesn't even have to be that great. Just something
it really,
new.
Yeah, exactly. You're right, because like the ending scene is not. I forgot to mention that it's really not that good. It's cool because we're excited for the future, but at the same time, they should have had something to where it ties into either maybe a Spider-Man movie or the Ant-Man movie. So I kind of feel like they missed their mark on the end credit scene, but go ahead.
Yeah, they did. And yeah, Ant-Man could have been cool, and there's the original end credit scene was like that, just involving Loki. I'll explain in the thing. And they cut it out. So that would have been cool.
Once again, I want to see the extended cut.
Yeah, me too. Man, okay. So yeah, that wasn't great, but really, that was. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but no, that was my only real quell with it. This was a really fucking cool movie.
Which is really strange because, guys, I listen to like Joseph's commentary on movies. He's a hard dude to please, and the fact that he actually likes Avengers 2 and he only has like a handful of like quips with it, like that's pretty fucking impressive. So
yeah, I'm usually like, oh, not as good as Malik,
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, between both of us, like those are all my quips I had a problem with, and those are his. And like I said, some of the things I really, really liked. I really liked Vision. I think it's awesome that he's kind of like a culmination of every single Avenger. Like he's super strong. Like he's really fast. Like he's a hard motherfucker to take down. And so I really liked. I'm just really curious to see what happens to him in the future because he's going to be a very important part. Because with the way he's made. I really.
It's not too late for him. Like I think they could go somewhere really cool with that. I'm not denying that.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. Another favorite part. I don't know if you like this, but Scarlet Witch, she has like telekinesis powers, and like she can really like propel like dream sequences on people. I thought those were the best scenes in the entire movie. When Tony Stark had his, when Thor had his, when Cap had his. It just that, especially the Thor scene. Like, as soon as that happened, I was like, oh shit, Ragnarok is about to come, and it's gonna be fucking awesome. Like those dream sequences were fucking awesome, and I thought that really, especially Black Widow's. Black Widow's was more of like a character development dream, and then all the rest were kind of like
foreshadow.
Yeah, future seeds for the future movies. So I really enjoyed Scarlet Witch's powers on the Avengers and stuff. So that's one of the things I really liked. It's like Joseph said, I really liked the witty banter between all of them. It actually was a pretty funny movie. And then, of course, just like Vision, fucking Ultron, man. James Spader, he's got one of those voices where you're just like, you could scare a little kid at a birthday party. Like, you just sound so menacing. And
but you can also make me laugh my ass off. Like
exactly, like he's really sarcastic and really funny. So those are like some of my favorite parts of the movie for sure. So, Joseph, what are like the standout moments for you?
Standout moments. Okay, so you can't forget about the Hulkbuster fight.
Oh, of course.
That was great.
That was awesome.
But like, how could that not be great? What else? Yes, the little flashback thingies were, or not flash, the mind fuck was cool, especially with Scarlett Johansson, who, by the way, Julie Delpy is in her little thing very briefly. So
yeah,
if you want that, then she's in it. But so there's that. There's a party scene where they're all chilling and they're having just a bunch of funny lines going on. That's so good. That's one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Yeah, no, that one was like really fucking funny.
Yeah, and there's a joke. We talked about this on a Skype call. I'm not sure if it's a sex joke or what it is, but like I was almost laughing at myself for not getting it. The zucchini joke.
That was a sex joke.
Well, that was okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm kind of glad they did that, even though I didn't get it. But okay.
Yeah, so, as soon as Iron Man said, and this doesn't spoil anything, folks. It's just a line in the movie. But like, he's like, "You guys gonna play hide the zucchini?" And everyone in my theater was laughing, and it's like, yeah, that was a sex joke in a Disney movie. That was pretty great. So, that was really funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just because I got that vibe, people told me. So just knowing that they did that made me pretty happy. But yeah, when there's a scene that was leaked online a while back. It's at Jeremy Renner's safe house with Iron Man and Cap. It's a setup for Civil War.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna go in detail, but great Civil War build-up scene.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic because listen, folks, this Civil War movie is gonna be fucking bonkers. Like it just listening to Tony Stark's banter and Steve Rogers' banter on how Tony's on the side of we need to fight the war so we can go home. And then Steve is like, well, why are we going to fight the war that hasn't even been invented yet? We're just going to harm people. It's great conflicting ideologies. I'm just excited to see where that goes. So there's a lot of Civil War like planting in there. Well, there's a lot of Infinity War planting in there. It's very good in that regard. So sorry, I didn't mean to cut. Do you have anything else that you really like?
Hawkeye.
Yeah, Hawkeye was really cool.
Right. It sucks we're not getting a Scarlett Johansson in a Hawkeye solo flick. Or, I guess, duo flick, because that would be great. But, about ScarJo, her and Hulk have this little romance thing going on. Not a spoiler. That when it was first starting, I'm like, no, just fucking don't bother. But by the end of the movie, I was like, yeah, that was cool.
I kind of felt the same way. Like, at first, it felt a little forced. But when they were in a certain house, if you will,
yes.
And they were kind of, talking about their fears and whatnot and just why they don't want to do it and stuff. I kind of felt like they should be together at that point. I was like, guys, you're meant for each other. Like, just please get it on. So, it was one of those things where, like, I was like you, where I was like, I'm not really digging this. But towards the end of the movie, I was like, I'm excited to see where this fucking goes. Like, because it's going to split them when, when Civil War comes. So it's just another, it's just another, like, one of those, really juicy, dramatic conflicts to, like, plant in this movie to, like, fuck up their group. So, yeah, I thought their relationship was pretty good. It ended strong.
Yeah, and the ending in general, love it. Sets up everything, and we'll talk about that more in the spoiler section. But yeah,
So, just to give you my quick final thoughts on this film, let's start with the directing. I really like the tone that Joss gave this sequel. I'm glad he made it darker, more brooding, and it really shows that these characters are about to get into some serious shit down the line. I really like the humor in it. It mixes well with the dramatic moments. And by dramatic moments, like I said, those flashback scenes, like, they really kind of got to me. I was like, oh, wow, like, this is what they're actually thinking right now. Like, this is crazy. Like, so, I really like what Joss did for this one, and like I said, I think it's way better than the first one. And you needed to do that for a sequel. Like, you don't need to make it all fun and hunky dory. You need to have some shit happen. So I'm glad that he really stepped up his game in this one, and the action sequences are filmed very, very well. Joss knows how to bring a comic book to life, per se. The acting, I like all the actors as usual. All the new people, I like Paul Bettany's vision. I'm glad he finally gets to have a role now. James Spader is great as Ultron. Elizabeth Olsen is great as Scarlet Witch. Not a huge fan of Aaron Taylor Johnson as Quicksilver. Cinematography-wise, it's got like this dilution to it that I really enjoy in contrast to the first one.
Yep, done that.
Yeah, exactly. And I love the way everything was shot in terms of the visuals and the way the fight scenes were handled. Josh, it's not just his direction. Like, he knows how to pick some creative shots. Like I was saying, like, there's some really cool shots with all the Avengers fighting in one frame, and it's just fun. You're like a little kid again. You're just like, oh shit, like everyone's fighting all at once. It's fucking awesome. So, as far as
the Onion, sorry to cut you off, but about the whole fighting all at once thing.
Yeah.
The Onion did a great review where, like, the whole time he's bitching about, like, this shot should have more superheroes in it. It's like, this person is not a superhero. I don't like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. But no, for a 2.5 hour long movie, the pace was just right. I didn't feel it drag. I was so invested. I was just having a lot of fun. I was having a huge blast with this movie. I kind of wish I would see the 3 hour cut. And if it was 3 hours, I probably wouldn't even feel the 3 hours just because, listen, if you're not a fan of these movies, you're probably going to feel it drag because there's a lot of stuff that goes on. There's a lot of stuff jam-packed into it, and a lot of people find story issues with it. I thought it was fine for what it was, and I think everything worked out perfectly in terms of the time slot that they had. Now, if they had the 3 hours, they probably could have made everything fleshed out even more, but as far as the 2.5 hours goes, I understand why Disney cut it down. That's the way business works, and for that reason, like, I'm okay with the pace of it, even though some of it does feel kind of jumbled and kind of rushed, but I was okay with it. It still doesn't negate the fact that it had awesome time with it. So overall, out of 10, oh man, I think I'll give it. I don't want to give it an 8, and I don't want to give it a 7, so I'll go in the middle. I'll go 7.5 out of 10. I think it's a very strong sequel, and I like it better than the first one. It's dark, it's brooding, it's funny, and it sets up a lot of stuff for the future movies. You will have just a fucking great time with this movie, especially if you love these movies. If you're not a fan, stay away from it. But 7.5 out of 10, very solid summer flick, and I cannot wait to see Ant-Man, Civil War, Infinity War, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Inhumans. I'm just fucking ecstatic to see everything. So, Joseph, give your final thoughts and your score of how you rate your movies.
Yeah, you've got it. And pacing was spot on. And like, there's some scenes where they're just talking, like at that house, a lot of scenes at that house, and they were great scenes. And some of them weren't even funny. Like, I went on about how like some of them they're just talking and it's really funny and you like it, but some of them were just genuinely good dialogue, good character moments, played off each other well. It's not a spoiler to say Nick Fury's in it because he's in the trailer.
Yeah.
It's not in it too much, but I liked his appearance in it. He has a good gag with Iron Man, as you know. And but you know what? It was sad seeing Samuel Jackson without that lisp from Kingsman. That was so good. But Kingsman, yeah. But I'm gonna go. I'm torn between a 7.5 and an 8. I think I'm gonna go for what it is. It's an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, like as time goes on, I might change my mind because you guys got to keep in mind, I literally just got back seeing it like 3 hours ago, and usually when a movie kind of sinks in, I might have a different tone on it. But I mean, it's not like just because we're not giving it a perfect 10, Marvel fanboys, it doesn't mean me and Joseph did not like the movie. I really enjoyed it. You know, there's
I like to give genuinely low ratings. Like, so to me, that means I really liked it.
Yeah, no, I only give 10s to certain movies. I've only given, a couple 10s in the past, year and a half, and that's only to Whiplash and Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. So I mean, there's only certain movies I will give like a perfect score to. And me and Joseph told you our problems with this movie, so obviously we're not going to give it a perfect score, but it's still a fun summer blockbuster, guys. And I'm a huge Marvel fanboy. I cannot wait to see what they do next. So that is our thoughts on Avengers: Age of Ultron. What did you think about the movie? Comment in the place where I'll put my voice and let me know. So, when I asked Joseph to come on here, I asked him, I said, did you see the box office results? And he said he didn't. So I'm actually I'm excited to tell him the number for Avengers because it's something that none of us expected, and I'm just curious to see what he thinks. So Joseph, I do this with all my guests. I want you to guess the top 5 results for the weekend.
5?
Yeah.
Okay. What came out? What's out?
The only thing that came out this week was Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Okay. Can I check last week's?
No.
Okay.
Because it might spoil it for you if Avengers pops up.
Avengers wasn't out in America last week though.
Yeah, but if you go on,
popped up on the screen. I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm so gonna fail this. Okay. Okay. Can I start from 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1, I'm going to go Avengers.
Okay.
Unless you're big surprised that it's not number 1.
It's actually Paul Blart.
Oh fuck, Paul Blart was a thing. Okay. Second, I'm gonna go Fast and Furious.
Okay.
3, I'm gonna go Paul Blart.
Okay.
Number 4, 4, I'll go. Were any family movies that recently came out?
Paul Blart and Home are like the only family movies out right now.
Okay. Then I guess I'm gonna go Water Divider for 4.
Okay.
And I don't fucking know. Age of Adeline for 5.
You got none of those wrong except for number 1. Number 5 is Home with 3.3 million. Its budget is 135, double that 270 to break even. Worldwide, it's got 326. So
nice.
DreamWorks.
Well, not nice because it probably sucks, but I mean, like, nice for them.
Yeah, no, I liked it. It's definitely one of the better DreamWorks movies in quite some time. The only 2 DreamWorks movies I've ever really liked are How to Train Your Dragon franchise and Shrek. Like, those are the only ones I've actually really enjoyed from DreamWorks. Everything else has just been kind of so-so.
Yeah, at best.
Yeah, so that's number 5. Number 4 is Paul Blute Moo Coop 2 with $5.5 million. Why?
Can you do a whole podcast with that accent? I'm sorry. Can you please?
No.
At some point in time?
Fuck no, because it makes it seem like I'm a fan of Paul Blart. No, oh God. All right, so its budget is $30 million. Right now, domestically, it's got 51, and worldwide, ladies and gentlemen, Paul Blute Moo Coop 2 has $75 million worldwide, which means it has doubled its budget, it broke even, and it made some profit. America, what the fuck are you doing? Were you bored? Are you bored? You want to go see something else? Go watch Age of Ultron. Why are you giving... why? That means they're going to make a third one, you idiots. You fucks. God.
Oh my God.
That makes me so fucking mad.
I'm surprised anyone would see any movie that's not Avengers with Avengers now. Like, even if it wasn't good, like, even if, like, I figured anyone that's going to the movie, you know, one point, maybe Avengers was sold out. Because, like, I got to my showing on Friday night, like, 30 minutes early, and me and my friend barely got seats.
Exactly.
So thinking, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know what's, Joseph doesn't know how big of a Marvel fanboy I am. I actually got my roommates and my tickets 2 months ago.
Nice.
I pre-ordered that shit in March.
you got an IMAX 3D, right?
Do what?
You saw an IMAX 3D, right? I think you said earlier.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, I saw it in 2D.
I like to go all out on superhero movies.
I do too. Sorry to interrupt. Because I got a gift card to, like, one of my theaters, and I was taking a friend, and he likes, like, popcorn and shit, so it's like, I don't want to spend $25.
It's understandable. Like, it's like $16 per ticket here. So I mean, it's not like I'm gonna go spend that money on fucking Paul Blart Mall Cop in IMAX 3D. No, I save it for like appropriate movies. So like Fury 7, I wanted to see that in IMAX and stuff. So speaking of Fury 7, number 3, Fury 7 was $6.1 million. Yeah, budget $190, so we're looking at $380 to break even. Guys, it's $330 domestic, and it's $1.4 billion worldwide. I want you to put that in perspective. In a fucking month, the 7th installment of the Fast and Furious franchise, which I adore as a guilty pleasure.
Yes. I'm so glad you adore them, like me.
No, I fucking love these movies. And it has made $1.5 billion in a month. The 7th installment. What the hell is up with this world? But hey, you know what? I've supported this franchise since the first one, so I will give it money. I don't care if it's up to Fast and Furious 20 and 20. Like I don't care. Like I'm going to watch it. So
yeah. By the way, do Ludacris and Tyrese Gibson not have the best chemistry ever?
Oh, yeah, they do. It's fantastic. Yeah. Fury 7's fantastic. It's definitely if I had to do a top 3, I put number 7 at the top. I'd probably go 7, 5, 6 as my favorite 3. But no.
7 at number 1?
Yeah.
God, yeah, nice. I'd go 6, 5, 7.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's still a strong installment for sure.
Totally.
Yeah, no, it's one of those movies like we said with the whole Vin Diesel Last Witch Hunter thing. Listen, these movies have horrendous dialogue, but these movies are so much fun to watch. Like you can't sit there and tell me that you have your arms crossed and you're not fucking smiling throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
It's entertaining. So that came in at number 3, $1.5 billion in a month. Holy shit. Number 2, Age of Adeline was $6.2 million, so it actually outbeat Fury 7 by like $100,000.
Yeah, it's making more money than Fury 7, guys.
Exactly. There's no budget on it, and there's no worldwide numbers, so domestically right now it just says $23 million. That's probably good for that type of movie, so, good for it. Now, number 1, Age of Ultron, of course, but how much? Joseph, give your prediction right now before I reveal it.
Okay, I'm gonna say at least north of 215 million, at least.
Give me an exact number. Like,
fuck. Okay.
round it.
Yeah, round it. Let's go 235. 235 now.
Okay. So, Joseph's pick is 235. Out there, if you're listening, if you're dead, whatever, give me your predictions right now. Like, just think of it in your head. The first one, Joseph, how much did it make opening weekend?
It made, like, just around 200, right?
Yeah, it was like 207.
Okay.
Avengers Age of Ultron, opening weekend, get ready for it, $187 million.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually $20 million less than its counterpart 3 years ago.
Damn,
Now,
you know what? I don't think they can afford to make those sequels anymore.
I know. I think they're just gonna. I think they're bankrupt. They're bankrupt,
Yeah.
obviously. No, is it alarming? No, it's still a shit ton of money. But
it's kind of weird.
It's just it's weird because it's the sequel. You kind of figure it would do better. I don't know.
The first one sucked, which even though it did, people liked it.
Well, thank you. I guess I'm one of those dumb people, but I mean, like, it's kind of alarming a little bit. It's 20 million's a lot. That's a big that's a big gap, and so it's not the over, it's the under. So my theory is maybe one or two things. People are getting tired of superhero movies. Maybe they're starting to see this kind of slowing down a little bit, and maybe the other reason was on Saturday night. You know, they had the boxing match.
The boxing match, yeah.
That could have dipped in just a little bit, but I don't think that was the main cause. So I mean, Joseph, do you have any theories on why?
I'd say if I got a theory. By the way, I'd be pretty annoyed if people now stopped liking superhero movies, because like now is when they're getting good. Like,
yeah.
I thought Guardians, the most recent three are the three I really liked. So
yeah.
Or loved. So if now is when people are starting to not like it, I'll be like, you know what, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, so I'd probably go the Fight. Yeah, Fight's probably the biggest deal.
I mean,
but again, Fight is $99, which again, that's cheaper than taking like 10 people.
Yeah.
To see Age of Ultron, but if you're going any less than 10 people, it's cheaper to go see Age of Ultron.
I think I mean, there's nothing to worry about, guys. They're still going to make their movies, but I mean, it is kind of weird. It's just weird. But I mean, its budget is $250 million, which was around the same as the first one. Domestically, it's at $187 right now, and worldwide it's at $626. So double $250. You're looking at $500 million just to break even. Guys, in 2 weeks they've already made $126 million in profit. That's incredible.
Wait, is it true that Amazing Spider-Man never broke even? Someone told me that. I have a hard time believing that.
Wait, do what?
Someone told me Amazing Spider-Man 2 didn't break even. Is that true? I have a hard time believing that.
Because the worldwide total on Amazing Spider-Man 2 was like $800 million. And
okay, yeah.
I think its budget was probably $300 million, so you double that, it's probably $650.
I think maybe it still had a theatrical run, someone told me or something.
Yeah, no, I think it made profit, just not as much as Sony would have hoped. So yeah, that's the box office numbers for the weekend. So I'm sure me and Joseph have no complaints on the amount it made. So that will do it for this week's episode, guys. In just a little bit, if you want to stick around, we'll talk about some spoilers in the movie. But for right now, let's go ahead and end the regular show. If you guys would like to follow me on Spreaker here, you can do that. Just click the follow button. You can up to date when I go live, when I post these things, etc. I'm also on iHeartRadio, so bigger audience. So Twitter, it's at Real Chase Lee. Facebook, it's facebook.com/Real Reviews with Chase Lee. And then YouTube is youtube.com/Shabunic75. All links of those descriptions will be in the description box. Joseph, go ahead and plug your Twitter and just where people can find you again.
My Twitter, the name is Holden McGroin.
Okay.
Yeah, hold it like, and my @name, goddamn. Okay, so it's like Murph from Interstellar. It's MU and then 3 R's, then 2 P's, and you'll find me.
Joseph, that's fucking confusing. Go away. No, it's a lot better than Jackson's. What's Jackson's again? It's like
Jackson's. It's like Things Jack Digs or something.
Oh,
no, it's not. Now it's I'm Not Mayonnaise.
Yeah. Yeah, it's every time when he posts something, I'm just like, Jackson, like, that's the first thing I see is mayonnaise. So like,
no, he's not mayonnaise.
Oh yeah, he's not mayonnaise, but like that's the first word I see, so I'm just like mayonnaise. Oh, it's Jackson. So yeah, no. Please go follow Joseph, guys. He knows what he's talking about. He knows his shit. And if you like Joseph, go ahead and let me know, and I'll bring his ass back on again.
And if you don't, let him know.
Exactly. Hey, so
he can tell me, and I can cry about it.
Hey, listen. I have a strong feeling that I'm going to like Ant-Man a lot, and I have a strong feeling that Joseph is going to dislike it a lot. So when Ant-Man comes out, if Joseph's not doing anything on that Sunday, I'll just drag his ass on for that one. But yeah, so I want to thank you guys for listening to another episode of Roomy and Colin, a movie podcast. I'm Chase Lee. That's Joseph Wythe.
By the way, yes, Gmail, I know the real me is live right now.
Yes, it is live. Oh shit, what was I gonna say? For next week, guys, there's nothing that comes out except for Hot Pursuit Dick. So I mean, what I'll probably do is
you do mid-year favorites, maybe. I don't know.
No, because that's usually in July, and that's usually when Jackson.
Yeah, we haven't even got that much stuff.
Yeah, that's usually when Jackson comes on. So I think.
Maybe just pick a random topic or don't do a show.
No, I have to do one. I've been doing.
Pick a random topic like zombie movies or whatever. Just think of something we can chill or whatever.
Well, what I'll probably do is, since Hot Pursuit Penis is based. Well, it's like a buddy cop movie. I'll probably do like a buddy cop comedy or something. Or if a bunch of news or trailers takes over for the week, that's what I'll talk about. So I want to thank you guys for listening one more time. I'm Chase Lee. Tune in next week for another episode of Roomy and Colin, a movie podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good day. Now, if you're still listening, this right now, I am warning you, I'm giving you a heads up. Me and Joseph are about to go into spoiler territory. I don't know how long it's going to last. We're just going to kind of talk until we kind of hit all the points and whatnot. So, if you have not seen the movie and you don't want to be spoiled, do not listen to this section and then blame me later, because I'm warning you right now. So
he doesn't fucking care.
Exactly.
You blame him after. Yeah.
You had a whole hour to decide if you wanted to or not. So
there will be no refund for your hypothetical money that you paid us.
Hypothetical money. I charged them like $250. Yeah. So I'm warning you right now. Spoiler territory. Here we go. Are you still listening? Okay. So Joseph, I don't know where to begin, man. Like.
So much shit happened.
I know. Do you want to kick it off? Like, what's one of the things that kind of changed the plot a little bit, or something that you noticed that was an Easter egg that you kind of want to talk about?
It's not really an Easter egg. I don't know enough to recognize Easter eggs, but I really like the new Avengers and how they build it up. Because I think, where they're going to go after Infinity War, and I think that's where they're going to go.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see if they play in Civil War, but probably better not to, since they already have a shitload of stuff going down with Bucky and all that stuff, So I love how it ended. I love how that last confrontation with Iron Man and Tony, Iron Man and Captain America, and how they're ending on a good note, but you know where it's going. So that was one thing I really liked.
Okay, so what Joseph was talking about is the way the movie ended, and that was, Cap and Iron Man go their separate ways. And Cap is talking to Black Widow, and then, he's like, let's assemble the team. And he opens the door, and we get Falcon, Vision, and Scarlet Witch. And that is supposed to be on Cap's side.
Wait, was War Machine also there?
No, because he'd probably be with Iron Man.
Iron Man, yeah, you're right. So they're going to... Actually, I take that back about Civil War. So now that what's his name? War Machine isn't there, they're probably going to... go with Cap, yeah. So I can't wait to see where they go with who takes Iron Man's side. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be great. And me and my roommate have a theory. I don't think Thor is gonna be present at all. I think
in Civil War.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be.
I don't think so either.
I think he's gonna be in Asgard, and I think Ragnarok is gonna happen at the same time as Civil War. So I think that's the battle he's gonna fight. It's gonna be great, because in Ragnarok, it's gonna be about Thanos taking over, getting that Infinity Glove, and really just kicking ass. And so, I think, Thor is not going to be there. What I do believe is Tony is probably going to have War Machine. He's probably going to have the Hulk, which is going to cause that conflict between him and Black Widow, since Black Widow's on Cap's side. Since, they're kind of like this romantic thing. As far as Hawkeye goes, I don't know if he's going to actually fight that much, because he promised his wife, and that's, here's a spoiler, since we're talking about spoilers, we are revealed in Age of Ultron that Hawkeye has a family, and he's got kids, and he assures his wife he's going on one more mission, which was defeat Ultron, and he eventually comes home, and it makes it seem like he's done. So I don't know if he's going to, come back for Civil War. I mean, Jeremy Renner is signed on to do Civil War, but I don't know how much of a part he's going to play. And even if that was the case, I think he's going to stick with Cap, because him and Black Widow, like, those three are like, they're like a team. I don't know anyone else that would go to Tony's side.
I think, now here's the thing, what will Hulk do? Because Hulk, he has a thing with ScarJo, but he's also buddies with Tony.
I think he'll go with Tony, and I think it will really cause that conflict between him and Black Widow. So that's how Age of Ultron ends. It basically sets up Civil War with Cap having his team, which I really like. That fucking Vision is on his team and not Tony's.
Yeah.
Because, Vision he's the newest creation, if you will, and since we're in spoiler territory, he's got one of the Infinity Gems on his head, and he's got was it the mind or power one? I forgot.
I think it was the mind.
Okay, so as far as me and Joseph are concerned, because apparently we're really smart, Vision has one of the Infinity Gems on him. Like, he physically is one. And so, well, actually, it might be the power one because of all that strength that he has picking up Thor's hammer and shit.
Yeah. That does make sense. Which, by the way, how funny was that?
It was great. Like, because the whole scene in the beginning where everyone was trying to lift Thor's hammer and then Vision comes and, like, just hands it to him, and it's like, oh shit, Vision's the real deal. So, I find it really interesting that Vision is on Cap's side. I firmly believe that Vision will get caught in the crosshairs and, like, die, and I think Jarvis will be gone forever, and I think that's going to really kill Tony, because Jarvis is the guy that's been with him the entire time. So I think Vision's going to play a huge part in that, and, Thanos is going to try to get this Infinity Gem off of Vision, because that's what Thanos is here for, which we'll get to that end credit scene. He's there to get all the Infinity Stones so he can put it on the glove and really control the universe. And so he's going to go after Vision, for sure. So it ends on this Civil War kind of seedy thing where it kind of paves the way. And that's one of the aspects I liked. The other aspect is what we were talking about in the other, like the normal review, when Thor has his dream vision.
Yes.
What's Idris Elba's character? Is it Hemlock?
I just call him Idris Elba.
Okay. Me and my roommate actually didn't know we forgot his name, so we just called him the Gatekeeper. So basically, like, so like, which he is. I mean, Idris Elba, he's in the Thor movies, and he's the Gatekeeper of Asgard. In the dream sequence, he grabs Thor, and he's like, "We're already all dead." And, he's got, like, these black, like, white-out eyes and shit. And it's like, that was a direct reference to Ragnarok. Thor is basically seeing his vision of what's going to happen to Asgard. And it kind of made me giddy a little bit. I was like, oh, shit, it's going to go down. So, there was seeds for Ragnarok, seeds for Civil War. And for Infinity War, I thought this was really cool. Joseph, at the very beginning when Iron Man has his dream vision from Scarlet Witch, he sees that all the Avengers are basically dead on this pile of rocks, and that was a direct reference to Infinity War. He's basically seeing what's going to happen in 6 years.
Do you think that's going to happen, though?
Yes. I think Marvel, I think that what they're going to do is kill most of their characters in Infinity War.
Yeah, I think they're going to kill most,
Because you got to keep in mind, Captain Marvel and Black Panther and Humans, they're going to be the ones to actually take the mantle from Iron Man, Captain. Yeah, exactly. They're going to be the ones to kind of be the new Avengers, if you will. So
also I think. Do you think what's it called? Cap's current team. Like, do you think that Scarlet Witch could be in the new Avengers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I thought that new team is also gonna it's gonna be them and then the Phase 3 people what they're developing now.
Yeah, I think that she'll be a part of it. And speaking of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, we did not mention this because it is a huge spoiler. As far as we know, Quicksilver dies in this movie. Now, when watching the movie, I understood why he died, and especially after there's a conversation with Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch, and he's like, "You can either stay in here and hide, or you can stand up and be an Avenger." Yeah, and as soon
I love how they make fun of. Sorry for cutting you out. How Hawkeye kind of makes fun of himself, like aliens are invading.
Yeah. There's a lot of self-referential stuff, but like as soon as he said that, I was like, "Oh shit, Scarlet Witch is going to survive. Quicksilver's not," because he didn't have that talk with Quicksilver. He's just kind of like there. But as far as we know, Quicksilver saves Hawkeye and this child, and Quicksilver's in the line of fire, and he gets shot with a bunch of bullet holes. Now, Marvel, if you are listening to this, I love you, Kevin Feige. I like everything you do. But here's the one thing that pisses me off about your universe. When you kill someone, keep them fucking dead, okay? Like, I'm so sick and tired of these fake deaths and people coming back. Now, I don't think they're going to do this with Quicksilver, because I firmly believe that he is dead. There's no way you can recover from that. The guy got obliterated by bullets. I think that he will stay dead, and I think Marvel is finally realizing that we don't like these fake death shit, so I think Quicksilver will stay dead, and I think that will actually give Scarlet Witch more motivation to fight. And I think...
Yes, okay. I was just about to say that.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to give her motivation to be an Avenger and do her thing, so I think you need to keep him dead. Oh, shit. Are we missing any other kind of big spoilers?
I kind of want to comment on that.
Okay, go ahead.
If Quicksilver lives, they could run away, go, their brother, sister, but they'll start a life and they'll be good, and she has a reason to live. She has him, he has her. But now that he's gone, she has nowhere to go, but she has Avengers, and that's her motivation. That's what she's gonna do. It's gonna be fucking kick ass.
Yeah, exactly. And especially since they're twins, like she's got that real kind of emotional core tied to Quicksilver. So you need to keep him dead, Marvel. Like, listen, did you see The Dark World, Thor?
What I did.
You didn't?
I did.
Okay, so since we're in spoiler territory, when Loki supposedly died at the end, I actually was okay with that. I was like, they just made a ballsy move. I'm okay with this. And then when he comes back at the end, it's like, why are you doing this shit? Like, you've already done that twice with him. Like, and then when the whole thing with Coulson and the first one coming back in the fucking TV show.
Oh my god.
Because, like, when he died in the first one, I actually felt something. I was like, oh, that sucks. Like, he's dead. Like, I actually...
I didn't give a fuck, but you did.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, different strokes. But, I mean, he was just one of those characters, like the Quicksilver, where he was the motivation for the Avengers to team up, get their shit together, and go fight this alien army. So... I really wish you could just stick to your guns, Marvel, on the whole dying situation. I firmly believe they've learned their lesson. I think Quicksilver is dead, for sure. So it'll be very interesting to see how Scarlet Witch kind of fares out in this universe and stuff, because I really like her kind of mind control thing. It really, like, fucks up a person. It's almost like taking a really strong, like, painkiller or something. So I really like that part. As far as Vision goes... I guess the spoiler with him is he is Jarvis. Jarvis is Tony Stark's, kind of AI buddy. Kind of helps him out with stuff. He's been purely voice, and so Paul Bettany finally gets to be a person now and finally show his face. And Vision's suit looks cool. So he's got the Infinity Gem. Is there anything else I'm missing as far as spoilers? Oh, the end credit scene.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that, but still.
Okay, so the end credit scene, like me and Joseph said, not the most intriguing. I kind of wish they would have done something with Ant-Man or Spider-Man, whatever. So the end credit scene that they chose to go with is you see the Infinity Glove kind of just sitting there, and it's got none of its gems in its sockets, and Thanos comes up, and you hear Josh Brolin's voice, and he slips his hand in the glove, and he's like, I guess I'm going to have to do it myself. And yes, it gets you excited for Infinity Wars. It's like, oh shit, stuff's about to happen. But at the same time, it's like, I wish they would have done something a little different, because you already did the Thanos cutscene for the end of the first one. Now, me and my roommate were kind of talking about this, and Joseph, go ahead and chime in if you have anything different, but like, when he's getting the Infinity Glove, that means he's in Asgard, because the Infinity Glove is in Odin's vault. We saw that in the first Thor, like it was one of those Easter eggs. So, with him getting the glove, can we assume that Asgard is already abolished at that point, or do you think like maybe he gets the glove first and then destroys Asgard, or do you think he gets the glove after he destroys it?
I'm hoping that maybe he hired someone to get it or something, because I want to see it get destroyed, and I want to get it destroyed in Ragnarok.
Yeah, I mean, because when you see the end credit scene in Age of Ultron, like you can just assume, like, can you assume that we're maybe seeing like him getting the glove after he destroys the city or before?
Well, the thing is, the original end credit scene was actually him barging into Loki's place, and Loki's on the throne.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's like, and then he takes it and then says like, I got to do everything myself.
Yeah, I mean that would have actually been, if they would have done with the whole Loki thing, I would have actually, cool. Yeah, I would have enjoyed it a lot more, and I would have been like, oh shit, they're leading into Ragnarok. So I think with them either making that longer into the Loki scene as well, and or doing something different, I would have been more fine with. But I mean, it's fine. It's just, it gets me just more pumped for Infinity Wars. It's just nothing really changes. So
yeah. By the way, I know it's not Avengers, but it happened, and you're probably gonna want to talk about it next week. While we were doing the podcast on Suicide, a pic of all of Suicide Squad like chilling just released.
Whoops.
Like eating character. Yeah.
You know what's really funny is like, when I do these things every Sunday, like I gather up all the news and the trailers throughout the week, and like I swear to everything, as soon as I get done recording, something drops after I get done, so I have to talk about it next week. So, thank you, Joseph, for that. I will talk about that next week for sure. Is there any other spoilers you want to talk about before we kind of end this?
Maybe our favorite lines, maybe like.
Okay. Well, for me personally, I liked a lot of Ultron's lines because
I did too.
Yeah, because it's like what Joseph was saying. Like mentally, Ultron is fucked up. Like he's like a psychopath. But what's interesting is like he's supposed to be super smart, and he thinks he's doing everything right. Like he thinks like the path to starting over is human extinction because he wants humans to evolve, but they're not. So he's just going to take it into his own hands. So all of the lines that he said, I'm going to tear you apart from the inside. When people look up in the sky, they see hope. I'm going to take that from them first. It's like, this guy is a straight up psychopath, and he thinks he's in the right, but ultimately he's in the wrong. But I thought even all the funny quips that James Spader had and all the dramatic ones that really got under your skin, I thought they were great. And I really liked all of Ultron's lines. So I can't really pick a favorite. But those were my favorite. Like, what about you?
My favorite Ultron line is when they're with Quicksilver and Andy Serkis, who we forgot to talk about, but he was just cool.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that in just a second.
What's it called? And Ultron, I forgot what Downey Jr. asked him, but Iron Man asked Ultron. Oh yeah, he asked him like what he's doing with the things that Andy Serkis is giving him or something.
Yeah.
And then he says, "Oh, I'm glad you asked, because I was going to take this time to reveal my secret plan, or my evil plan."
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
making fun of themselves, how they always do that in Marvel, and there's no reason for him to do that.
Yeah, no, it was great. And so, I'm glad Joseph brought that up. Andy Serkis is in this movie, and he's in South Africa. He plays Ulysses Claw, and he gets his arm taken off by Ultron, and he's going to be the main villain for Black Panther. So that was kind of a scene where we see Ultron doing his bidding and getting the vibranium or whatever, and we see kind of that lead off into Black Panther. So I thought that was really cool. Black Panther is going to be a good one. I can't wait for that one. So I think that's all the spoilers to talk about for Avengers 2. But what did you guys think about Avengers 2 spoilers? I guess don't comment below because you might piss some people off. So hopefully you enjoyed the spoiler talk. Hopefully you agree with us, disagree with us. It's all good and fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and just end this out. So Joseph, thank you for coming on. If you're not doing anything on Ant-Man weekend, you can come join me then.
That I'm looking forward to it.
And then at that point, Joseph is going to yell at me because he's going to really hate it, and I'm going to really like it. So it'll be a fun argument. I'll see you guys next week for another episode. Thank you for sticking around for the spoilers section. Hope you enjoy it. So I'm going to play my outro music. See you guys next week.
Nice.